Want to start off by giving all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom unto the hopeful elect scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, so we're looking at the book of the Maccabees today. All right, our Hebrew Israelite history. You see, because guess what? The Maccabees were dark skinned. You see, what today would be called black. You see, they had afros. You see, all right, and this book was removed from the original text, which was the same text that our Lord Yahweh Shai read. You see, the Septuagint, all right, the King James Bible, all right, and then eventually, they changed it, and now we only have 66 books in the Bible that's approved by the homosexual Catholic Church, right? Because that's what they are, a bunch of flaming homos, just like their forefather, Alexander the Great, okay? Which a lot of the brothers like to call him Alexander the Creep, you see? Because he had wild homosexual orgies, all right? And you can just see it in their people, man. The way the leaders are, so are their people, right? That's somewhere in the scriptures is paraphrasing it. Just like that, like as the people are, so as the leaders are, so are their people. Flaming homo. The Greeks had their nasty homosexual orgies, and then came the Romans, and they had the same thing, right? But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about the history of the Maccabees. You see, all right, because that was us in the past. In those incarnations, that was us, man. And we got to take their example because this was a successful revolt. You see, the Israelites were pinned against the wall, and they said, to hell with you, man. We're not gonna follow your gods, because the Greek came down on them with great wrath. All right. And just like it's getting ready to happen right now, Yasharallah, with the mark of the beast, all right? Revelations 13, right? And I believe it's verse 15. Let's start there. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. Speaking about the beast is the government. Okay. American, EU, NATO, and American government, which is the revived Roman Empire government. The beast. Okay. And the image is the philosophies. Okay. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, that's the RFID chip and Neuralink. We can look that up real quick. Okay, we're going to get an illustration because the Bible says Israel needs a sign. So here's your sign right here. Boom. That's the rice grain. You see? It goes in the right hand. All right. A lot of people already have this. People volunteered to get it, man. So when they force it on you, it's going, hey, most of y'all gonna get it. You see? But not those of us who are rooted and grounded in the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who have wisdom and knowledge. You see, those of us that walk after the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that have faith in Yahweh Shai, right? We're not gonna take this damn thing, man. We would rather choose death. And that's exactly what the Maccabees did during their time, man. You see, they got the Neuralink, the brain chip. It already got approved by the, that company. I'm not even going to say any company names. Y'all know who I'm talking about because, then my video get taken down. But, the Food and You-Know-What Administration. So anyway, let's get past that. So good. So y'all know the mark. Boom. That no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So yeah, y'all gonna be starving to death, or y'all gonna get killed, like it says in the previous verse, 15. All right, as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You see, a lot of us gonna get killed, martyrs, you know, and that's okay because our ancestors did it. All right, and our ancestors had a masculine spirit on them, man. You know, I was watching the brother GMS, I believe it's GMS Page Masters. Shout out to him, and the other brother they were sitting on the couch, you know, talking about true masculinity. You know, and I watched that video today, and it made me kind of think about the Maccabees. You know, I think they mentioned the Maccabees too. They mentioned King David, the Maccabees, Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior. All right, who is the ultimate man. All right. That's the spirit of masculinity that needs to come on us right now, Yasharala. All right, because we getting ready to be tested. All right, and only the true men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai are going to be able to pass the test. You see? So today I want to bring a little inspiration from the past, because as it is written, history repeats itself. Let's go ahead and get Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 9. And it says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. You see, so what has been in the past is going to happen again. History repeating itself, right? And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. You see? So these conquerors like Alexander the Great, Alexander the Crete, right? You know, that happened again in the Roman Empire. It happened before him, during his time, and after his time, all right? And the wrath that he brought on the Maccabees, hey, that's the same wrath that this devil, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is going to bring down on the Israelites. So let's go ahead and go to Maccabees chapter 1. First Maccabees chapter 1. And we're going to start from the top. It says, and it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes, right? Because that was the previous ruling empire, was the Medo-Persian Empire, right? That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, okay? And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. All right, so he was conquering pretty much the whole world at this point, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. See, so this marks the beginning of the white man's rulership, right? As it is written, Jacob, the world that followeth. Esau is the end of the world. I think that's 2 Ezra 6 and 9. Yep. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see, so the end of the world, all right, the final rulership will be the so-called white man, all right, Esau Edom, which began here with Alexander the Great through Greece, the Greek Empire, the first empire of the so-called white man, and went to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him, right? So everyone was paying taxes to Alexander the Great, you see? And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die. All right, because there's a whole nother story behind that, but basically, it's rumored that, you know, all those homosexual orgies, he ended up dying from syphilis or something of that nature. I mean, the dude only ruled for what, 12 years? Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna keep reading this there. It says, wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. Okay, so he only reigned 12 years and gave his rulership to his servants, honorable servants. And his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years. All right, so the sons of the servants of Alexander the Greek and their sons were ruling over Greece, or pretty much over the world. It says, and many evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay, so the earth was already wicked, but when the so-called white man began ruling, it became extremely wicked. You see? All right, because the basis of men is the so-called white man, the Esau Edom. All right, the lowest of the heathen. All right, and you could go back to Genesis. The bloodline of Cain is really through Cain, when he died, reincarnated as Esau. All right, and that mark that the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai put on Cain was leprosy. Right, the mark was white skin, so that everyone in the world would know who he is. You see, and that mark is really a curse. All right, and it's still upon Edomites today. All right, now not to be confused with Israelite foreigners who might have mixed with those of that bloodline, but as long as the seed of their father goes back to Israel, they're still Israelites, even if they have the light skin. All right, because you know, if you have sex with an Edomite woman with white skin and have a baby, all right, that's just a woman. That doesn't matter, right? The seed goes through the man. All right. So with that, let's keep going. Verse 10, it says, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. You see? These are your Jay-Z's, Beyonce's, your Biggies, your Tupacs. Hey, even them, man. A lot of y'all out there think those guys were prophets, man. Hey, they were just sellouts, man. Just like you got the IUIC out here, and you know, they won't even say the true name of the Lord, whose name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. They won't even say the names, man. They're sellouts. You know, they'll give you a little bit of information, all right, as much as their puppet masters will allow them, and then the rest they keep quiet. Why? So they can get that bag, you see? And it wouldn't surprise me if in these days those men took the bag too. It doesn't mention it like that, but hey, it says in those days they went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, right? Because these wicked men, all right, they took the easy way out, all right? The scriptures tell us to bear the wrath that is put upon us, all right? Baruch chapter 4. And I promise I'm not going to make this video too long, Yasharallah. Okay? All right, so it says, let's scroll down here. Here it is, verse 25. And there's another verse that says it too. It says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is put upon you from power, for thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. You see? And that's what's happening now. And that's what was happening back in the time of the Maccabees, right? So, you know, as you can see, let's go back here. As you can see, you know, hey, they were catching hell. You know, of course, this Alexander the Greek was, you know, conquering and shit. And they saw the riches this dude had. And, you know, they were probably not in good shape. Israel was not in good shape. So they said, fuck it, man. Let's get the bag. Let's sell our soul, you know. And it says, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. Let's go make an agreement with them that are round about us. What does the scripture say in the Old Testament? Make no covenants with the heathen, man. You know, I think that's the book of Exodus, right? It says, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. See, because they used to have agreements with them and they stopped. All right. But hey, we got to suffer patiently the wrath that's put upon us, man. All right. Myself included, man. I came back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and following the laws to the best of my ability in the most sincere way I can, you know. And when I fuck up, I always, Lord, have mercy on me. Forgive me. I'm sorry. You know, we got to have fear, you know. All right. But at the end of the day, hey, I'm still catching hell, man. And I have to suffer patiently, man. You know? I'm still living in a cheap ass piece of shit apartment. You know what I'm saying? Alright, still catching hell at my job. Still catching hell in life, man. You know? Shit I don't even want to talk about, man. But like at the end of the day, hey, it doesn't matter, man, because we know what's gonna happen in the end, man. In the end, we win, man. So, you know, that's all that matters, right? So it says, but since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Device is a plan, right? So this plan pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. So not only were these people hell bent on making a covenant with the heathen, they say, you know what, fuck it, before they come to us, let us go to them and let's beg them to make an agreement so we can sin. You see that? You know, they went above and beyond, man. Like a lot of these celebrities out here, you know, when they joined the Illuminati, right, which is really the elite banking families, right, you know, will send their agents, and these people, you know, sell their soul. You know, they gotta be like these people, man. They gotta follow their customs. They gotta do rituals, man. And a lot of those men, you know, hey, they gotta bend over and grease up and let the big man who's in charge of them go in onto them, man. That's part of their wicked. That's part of their wicked. You know. Hey, I made this small. There we go. That's part of their wicked initiation. All right. But not to get off track, you know, but it just goes to show you, man, a lot of you 2/3 out there have that mindset, man. If you got that mindset of always escaping the pain, you see, you're not going to make it. You're going to get the chip, and you're going to be destroyed on the day of vengeance. So you got to check yourself, man. We cannot allow ourselves, Yasharallah, we cannot allow ourselves to choose weakness. You see? We got to go through the furnace of adversity, and it's going to make us stronger. It's going to make us better, man. We're getting ready to rule this earth with a rod of iron under Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You see? And our King David, man. We're going to be under Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and King David. All right? And we're going to rule these nations with a rod of iron, man. These nations, man, all the shit they did to us, man, we're going to have them on their hands and knees, you know, all day long, man. You know, isn't that beautiful? You know, we're going to rule this earth. It's going to be ruled the right way. We're going to have clean food, clean air, all right? Clean water, all right? Things aren't going to be ass backwards, you know? We're going to have clothes woven of one fabric, all right? Our women are going to be in order. You know, they're not going to be out here whoring out and with a masculine spirit, argumentative, you know, and our men, you know, we're going to get our balls back, man. We're going to get our rods back, man. We're not going to be all submissive and punked out by Esau and his women that he put over us, man. You see? Everything's going to be back in order, man. We're going to have beards on our head. We're going to have hair on our head again. You see? You know, we're going to have multiple wives. We're going to have riches. We're going to have slaves. The people who enslaved us going to be our slaves. Isn't that beautiful, Yasharallah? Hey, well, that's gonna take a lot of strength and discipline to do. So he's building us up for that, man. He's building us up our spirit through all this hell we're catching, all this adversity, man. This is a beautiful thing. All right. So, let's see here. And let's see here. 11, 20. Okay, we're going to keep going. It says, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Now, when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have dominion of 2 realms. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. So as you can see, even Egypt, was spoiled. All right, and that's probably why people in Egypt today have light skin complexion, man, because this devil went around the whole world, quote unquote, colonizing, right, or whatever he want to call it, make it sound like it's a good thing, right, spreading his seed everywhere, right, because in the ancient days, Yasharala, only Esau was white skinned, man. Everyone else was black, man. You Latinos, Native American Indians were all black back in the day, man. You had black skin, so-called dark brown skin, so-called black, right? All right. We looked like the Negroid tribes, right? Of course, we looked a little different, okay? We always gonna look a little different, but we didn't have this light bullshit skin, man, where you get burned outside in the sun. We didn't have that. See? And Salaki, if I'm all over the place, Yasharal, I just want to touch on everything, all right? We're going to keep going. We're going to keep it strong, all right? Stay focused, Yasharala. Buy yourself some herbs. I'll make a separate video on that so you can focus, man. We got to focus, man. No more of these bullshit 5-minute videos, man. Y'all need to sit through a whole 30-minute video so you can learn something, all right? Salaki, okay, and verse 20, and after that Antioch had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. Okay, and entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlesticks of light and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the shewbread and the pouring vessels and the vials and the censers of gold and the veil and the crowns and the golden ornaments and there that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. And he took also the silver and the gold and the prettiest vessels, and he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. You see, Yasharala? So this is the beginning of Esau's blessing, spoken of in the book of Genesis, all right? So just to kind of recap here, he went into the sanctuary of Israel, with his head up high, all proud, took everything from us, stole everything, massacred people, and just walked out with the proudest, biggest grin on his face, back to his own land. You see? So we're gonna go to Genesis. We're gonna go to Genesis 27 and we'll start on verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, all right, let's get some context. All right, verse 38. So this is right after Jacob had taken Esau's blessing, because Esau sold it to Jacob. And so Jacob got Esau's blessing, which was meant for Esau, but we took it, all right? And now Esau is crying. He says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. You see? But this dumbass, hey, don't feel sorry for him, Yasharala. He sold his birthright for a meal. You see? For one morsel of meat. You see? A profane person is this Esau. And verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. All right? And that's talking about the control of oil. You see? Esau has control of all the oil. You see? And when 9/11 happened, a while back, they sent people over there and troops and went to war, right? And what do you think that was all about, Yasharala? You think that was because, a plane hit the top of a building and the whole building disintegrated to dust somehow, right? Don't even get me started on that, right? But now you got this war in the Middle East that fought for 10 years, and then they lost the war and then just left all their people there and came back. You know what that sounds like to me, Yasharala? All right, Esau knows how to get his oil one way or another. You see? Let's read that again. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live. You see, that's exactly how he took over the known world, was through death, killing, destruction, stealing. All right. And also, that's what he just did, as we read in the Maccabees, to the Israelite temple. Right. It says, and by the sword shalt thou live and serve thy brother. So, because after it's all said and done, Yasharallah, you could read this in Revelation or in the book of Isaiah, when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai returns, all right, Esau is going to be our slave. You see? And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, because it is prophesied that Esau will rule over us for a time, and we're in that time, Yasharallah. We're nearing the end of that time, the end of our prison sentence, Yasharallah. And it says, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. You see? Because for a small period during the time of King David and King Solomon, all right, and during the Dark Ages as well, all right, we ruled over Esau. All right, they were paying tributaries to us. All right, and you had black kings, so-called black kings, who were Judites. All right, who were the real Jews. Okay, in Egypt, in Europe at the time, right? And and they started to build themselves up. All right, they started to build themselves up. All right, to the point to where they became, Greece, and then that's when they started ruling the world. Okay, we can get that in real quick. It says, they shall build, but I will throw down. You see? Malachi 1, okay, and 4. It says, whereas Edom, which is Esau, saith, we are impoverished. See, this was during the Dark Ages. Esau was impoverished, you see? But we will return and build the desolate places. You see? So they were impoverished, and they said they will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of armies, right? Of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. You see? You see that? Hey, only a black man would say something like that, right? Only a so-called Judite, right? Or someone who's similar to a Judite, right? Would say something. Only an Israelite would say something like that, Yasharallah. You see? We are the people. All right? Let's read that again. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai hath indignation forever. You see? The Lord does not like Esau, Yasharallah. And I'm going to make a separate video on who Esau is for those of y'all that don't know. Indignation, anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. Because they treated us like dog shit, Yasharallah. Worse than dog shit, man. You see? They treated us so badly. All right? And they continue to do it to this day. All right? So, yeah, they were impoverished. They rebuilt the desolate places, but guess what? The next part of that is the Lord will throw down. You see? The Lord will throw down. Okay? So, going back to the Maccabees, okay? Hey, it's their time to rule, Yasharallah. This is all prophecy, all right? And it began with Alexander the Great, and it's probably going to end with whoever's in power today, man, because I don't see it going past another generation, man. I don't see honestly, man, I don't see another 10 years in this, all right? But we don't know when the day of the Lord is, all right? We know we're nearing that day, all right? And as the brothers of Great Millstone have said, 2023 is the hopeful year that all prophecies come to pass. You see? Hopeful, because we don't know. But, hey, we can pay attention to the signs like Yahweh Shai done told us, and we can make a really good estimate. You see? We nearing that time, Yasharallah. All right? So we had Greece. We had Rome. And when Rome fell, it was revived through America. All right? Which you can look that up in the book of Revelation. It talks about the beast that was wounded but did live. That's the Roman Empire. All right. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep going here. It says, therefore, there was great mourning in Israel in every place where they were. Okay. So that the princes and elders mourned, and the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. Okay. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. You see, and this is how the so-called white man works today. They act like they want to be your friend, like they want to help you out, but in the end, they're going to use it to stab you in the back and basically punish you double for your naivety, man. For being naive, they're going to punish you double, you see? And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, right? Credence means belief and acceptance, right? So they started to give him credit. He fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. You see? So y'all start giving this damn devil credit. Next thing you know, he starts slaughtering your people. You see? When are you going to learn, Yasharallah, not to trust thine enemy? You see? As the scriptures say, as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. See? And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. You see? He couldn't just steal everything. He had to destroy it and set it on fire too. You see that? Hey. And that's verse 31. All right, another point I want to touch on, Yasharallah, is where it says, let's go back up here, where it says, the land also was moved, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. We're going to get a quick precept here in Isaiah 61, verse 7. And it says, but for your shame you shall have double, and for confusion. See? They shall rejoice in their portion, therefore in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them. All right, and part of that double, Yasharallah, is that Esau is going to suffer a double vengeance too, through the slavery, man. All right, that includes his men, his women, and his children, man. We gonna have our way with them, man. The same way they had their way with us, we gonna have our way with them, man. The same way they tortured and killed us, hey, we're going to do the same to them, man. All right? The same way they took our women and ravished them, hey, we're going to do the same thing with them. You see? And guess what, man? We ain't going to have technology like Esau's wicked technology in the kingdom, man. So they going to have to build this shit with hammers and nails and pickaxes. They going to have to build it the old-fashioned way, man. So it's nice and painful. You see? Hey, that's going to bring a smile to our face, man. Because that's called righteousness, man. That's called a just balance. That's called fair. You see? Because what the hell you do in this world, you're going to have to pay for it in the next world. Esau, don't you understand by now? You damn devil. Don't you understand? You're not going to understand. This ain't for you. All right? If you Esau and you're watching this, man, just watch something else, man. Go rob a bank. Go do some bullshit somewhere. Hey. This is your heaven right here, man. So if you one of these crackerjacks out here smoking a cigarette on the street, hey, go do some shit, man. Go rob something. Live while you're here, man. Because this is all you got, man. In the kingdom, you're going to have hell. You're going to be catching hell just like we catching hell. You understand? Now, verse 29, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. All right? So he came unto Judah with a great multitude, all right? So, hey, this is like in the modern day when they send their troops out here to break into your house, to kick your door down, to carry you off to a concentration camp so you can put that mark in your right hand on your forehead. Hey, this is what that is right there, man. All right? History finna repeat itself, you see? Let's keep it going. It says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but always, wait a second, we just read that. Salakia Yasharala. Salakia. Let's keep it going. Where was we? We was on 32. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. See, they stole our women from us, our children, and our animals. See? And captive means they enslaved the children and the women, man. The women, they probably took them for concubines or for maidservants, right? And the children, they put them to work in the fields, probably, right? And verse 33, then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them, right? Because this is still the house of David, right? You could get that precept of Revelation. 34, and they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. All right. They stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. You see? Or a thorn in our side is a good comparison to that, right? For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her, man. See, because they started doing that, what do they call that? Mixing races and shit, putting a bunch of different races of people in there, kind of trying to homogenize everything, you see? Same shit they doing now, man. They want us to get along with the so-called white man, you know? Well, they don't want to get along with us, right? But they want to push everybody together. Really, that's just to keep us, you know, to keep us confused, so we don't know who we actually are, man. Because, you know, all the Israelites, man, when we come together, hey, that's it. This kingdom's over. So, you know, they got to prevent that somehow. It says, insomuch, okay, so the next verse, her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. You see? You see that same bullshit they pushing now. Unity. Unity. Everybody need to come together. All right? The alphabet community. Right? Here we go. Let's start with this. The alphabet community. All religions need to come together. Yeah. All religions. Yeah. Unity. Unity. Yeah. Oh, that's something else. All right. Here's another one. You know, love everybody. You know, unity. Yeah, everybody need to come together, man. Fuck that bullshit, man. Fuck all that bullshit, man. You know? Hey, history repeats itself. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. See? That's just part of their plan, Yasharallah. Don't you read the history books? Hey, the same way they conquered us in all these old kingdoms, that's the way they conquer us today. We can't fall for that shit no more, Yasharallah. It's time to wake up. It's high time to wake up out of sleep, Yasharallah. Verse 42, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed. Of course the heathen are going to agree. Right? According to the commandment of the king. See? Why we got to leave our laws, right? That's exactly what they're doing with the alphabet community, man. Oh, you know, the Lord says if a man lie with a man, as he lies with a woman, he should be put to death, right? But what does the alphabet community say? If a man lie with a man, oh, that's so good. We should encourage the whole world to do that, you know? And then they go to Africa and try to convince Africans to be homosexuals, man. You know how many times Africa had to tell them, hey man, blow off with that, man. Don't try to change our culture. We don't believe in that. You know, when America keep pushing, oh, but we think your homosexuals need rights. He's like, this is a non-issue. This is a non-issue. You see, all these countries out here tired of it, man. Even Esau's tired of Esau, man. You got Russia over here telling, hey, man, we don't want this pushed in our country, man. You see, they don't want that pushed over there either. That's why they got together with Africa. You got Russia, Africa, China, I think India, and Brazil now. You got all these nations called BRICS. BRICS. The BRICS nations. Okay? Because they tired of Esau's bullshit, man. Right? So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. You see? And that modern day religion could be atheism. It could be creationism. Okay? It could be being a Muslim, or the religion could be just trusting in your goddamn government, man. Like all these sheep out here that took the juicy juice. You see, their religion was all these organizations that told you it's okay to put that in your body. See, it says Salakia. Let's start over. It says, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. See. All right, and that's what they do today, man. They tell you to go to church on Sunday. The Lord never said the Sabbath was on no Sunday, man. The first day of the week. All right, it's on the seventh day of the week, right? And the weeks aren't even the way that Esau made these calendars. The Gregorian calendar is false, man. The Sabbaths are based on the moon, the cycles of the moon, right? So right now the Sabbath is I believe it's Thursday night to Friday night. Right now. Let me see. I don't think it done changed in a while. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, we do have a new moon coming up soon. I always I'll make a separate video on that, Yasharala. But yeah, we gotta be keep on top of the dates, you know, so we don't miss the Shabbat. I believe it was Thursday night to Friday night. But anyway, yeah, they get us to profane the Sabbath, you see. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the city of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. All right, and we got a lot of strange laws, Yasharala. All right, you can only have one wife. What kind of bullshit is that, man? You know, in the ancient world, you could have as many wives as you could afford. See? You see? Oh, but the woman could cheat, right? That's not an official rule, but it's so encouraged, Yasharala. You know what I'm saying? We got the feminism, women's empowerment, you know, all these women out here on TikTok and Instagram encouraging women to be unfaithful. You see? Dressing like whores. You see? Giving their men an attitude. You see? That's all because of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. He's the one that made these wicked ass laws. See? And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. You see? And they pollute us today, man, by putting all those ingredients in the food, man. You got to read. You know, by the time you go in the grocery store and come out, man, you spend twice as long as anyone else because you're reading the back of the food label to make sure there's no pork, there's no bullshit, all right? And they change the names of shit, man. You know, they'll put it under guise of natural flavors or whatever. You gotta look on the website and look at the frequently asked questions and see, hey, does this have pork? No. Okay, great. It took me 10 minutes to figure that shit out, man. Come on, man. You see? They're wearing us out. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. Right? And what does Babylon the Great push? Eat everything you want and overeat. See? Verse 48. It says, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised. See, why the children? You see, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. Verse 49, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. See, so this is how they get them young, man. They start with your children, right? They taught them not to be circumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness, right? What do they do as soon as your baby is born? They put juicy juice in him, don't they? You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. They put the juicy juice in your kids, man. And they mandate it, and you're not allowed to go to school or whatever if they don't put the juicy juice, see? And profanation, right? They make your child profane, right? With all this alphabet community clothes they trying to sell at Target, right? Alphabet community indoctrination. Why? The end goal is so that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. See? That what they did in the past, they're doing it now, Yasharallah. They're doing it now. Alright? And we're gonna keep going. I promise y'all, stick to the end. It's all gonna come together. We need to hear this right now, this time that we're living in, Yasharallah, because we about out of here. Alright? Verse 50. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. See? Just like in Revelation, what was it? Revelation 13. All right? Whosoever will not worship the image, which is the philosophies of the beast, should be killed. Boom, the same thing. Whosoever didn't do according to the commandment of the king, he should die. In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them to witness, every one that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could file for succor. Now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 140th and 5th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the city of Judah and on every side. See, this is one of the worst of all the sins, man. In the Old Testament, you have normal sin, other sins like, you know, homosexuality, you get punished with death. All right, profaning the Sabbath day, you get punished with death, right? But you do this, you know, you bring other gods into the temple, and try to get other people to commit sacrifice for that god. The punishment is he shall be utterly destroyed. You see, this is one of the worst sins. You know, it says, and burnt incense at the doors. Okay, let's see. Now, let's read that again, Yasharallah. Now, the 15th day of the month Casliu, in the 140th and 5th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and built idol altars throughout the city of Judah on every side, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. You see? And this is what they doing now in Babylon the Great, man. It's the same thing, man. And actually, a brother was showing it the other day. You had these two homosexuals standing on stage, burning the scriptures, man. Burning the scriptures. You see? And you can see it here on the news, man. You see? Let's go back. It says, and wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Thus did they by you see right here, let's go there, let's read that again, right? Because this is what happens in Babylon the Great when you follow the law. All right, when we do everything that the scriptures command us to, hey, This is what they want to happen to you, man. And this is what that charagma situation is going to lead to, man. Because eventually, hey, the Lord going to separate the wheat from the chaff. And a lot of us out here, all right, a lot of us is going to say, you know what, man? Shove the mark up your ass. We're not going to take it, you know? Hey, we're not going to take the mark. You know, there's nothing these people could do to us that's going to make us take the mark. Because at the end of the day, hey, we fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai above all. We seen the scriptures, man. We seen what happens to those people that think they're going to get away with sin, man. Come back in the incarnation all fucked up, all crooked. You know, look at that motherfucking scientist. What's his name? Stephen Hawking, right? Was born all twisted up. I wonder what the fuck he did in his past life. You see? All right? And not to mention what Esau is going to go through. All right? 1,000 years of slavery. Right? And then eventually eradication. Right? See? And those of you that take the mark, you're going to be tormented with fire. All right? And I promise you that fire is going to be worse than anything Esau could do to us. So what the fuck do we have to lose? All right? It says, and wheresoever was found with any, the book of the testament, or of any consented to the law, the king's commandment was, they shall put him to death. See? That's exactly what's going to happen, man. We almost done, Yasharallah. Here's the point. Let's get it. All right? Let's keep it going. Verse 58. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of power, who is the Most High God, Yahweh. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. See? Because, these people were ruling over us with an iron fist, but at the end of the day, a lot of us say, you know what, man, we're still going to keep the law. This is our heritage. This is what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai commanded us. This is our faith. This is all we have. This is all we want. This is who we are. All right? And we're going to stand up to it. We're going to stand up to these rulers, even if it means death. You see? Verse 61, and they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit, right? So, they hung our kids, they hung our women, all right? They hung us, our men. But guess what? It says, howbeit, meaning even though, right? Nevertheless, however, right? Many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. You see? With all that hell breaking loose, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai put his spirit on our men to say, we don't give a motherfuck. We gonna still do the right thing. We still gonna follow the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Whether this tyrant want to or not, we're gonna follow the law. And that's it. That's it. It's that simple, Yasharallah. We made a fucking decision, and that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. You see? Verse 63, wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. You see? We chose death, and we died. So be it. Right? Verse 64, and there was very great wrath upon Israel. You see? But you're either one of two people. Either you're going to take that wrath and go to Esau for help, or you're going to take that wrath like a man and say, I'm going to still follow the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that's what we got to do now, Yasharallah. Because we getting to a point in time where this devil finna come down on us with great wrath. So guess what? Guess what? We gonna seek the Lord 10 times harder. Right? Let's go back to Baruch. Let's go back to Baruch. You see? Because at the end of the day, Yasharallah, either you of the elect or you not. But the elect is going to have this mindset. We're going to have a Maccabean spirit about us, man. Because, if you read the next following chapters, there was a successful revolt against this devil, man. Against one of the most powerful warriors on earth at the time. we still made a way through our power, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? So let's get that precept real quick, and we're going to close it out. No, Yasharala, I'm just kind of all over the place. Bear with me one moment. All right, Baruch 4:28. For as it was your mind to go astray from power, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. You see, Yasharala? So as we reading here in the book of the Maccabees, a lot of our ancestors, might have been you in the incarnation, right? We went astray from God, right? So now that we've been returned to him, we got to seek him 10 times more, man. It don't matter how bad it gets out here in Babylon the Great. The harder they go, the harder we're going to go for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The harder Esau's wrath comes down on us, Yasharala, the harder we're going to seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying unto the hopeful elect. I want to give all honor, glory, and power to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachakodash. And until next time, I say Shalom.